going on, guys? It's been a while. Hope you can bear with me. The box of my camera stuff seems to be missing, so I'm just holding this thing by hand. I wanted to answer a few questions I got on my Instagram. I haven't been able to make too many videos on this bike of what we've done so far, just because I got my 20-month-old son helping me out. So hopefully this week I'll get some more videos, but I'm gonna go over real quick with what we've got done so far. All right, knock out the first question I had. That was about the handlebars. I chose to make these in-house because I couldn't find the width and height combination that I wanted. So we went with 10 inches across. I think it was 7 inches up and then 9 inches out on the handlebar side with just a small 1.5 degree pullback on these handlebars. Next question I'm gonna answer here is what we're doing with the front end, and that is keeping the fatter small stock tire. And what we're gonna do to kind of eat up the space is we're gonna bring the front end down 2 inches. So to bring the fork shroud closer to the original mount for the fender here. And we're gonna cover up the chrome with a simple black cover that just slides on when we have the triple tree off. And that way we'll keep kind of the thicker look that we're going with on this bike with the stock headlight bucket. And then we're just gonna black everything right out. All right, I got lots of people asking about how we're getting this thing so low. Well, kind of answered how we're gonna do the front end. It's simple with cutting the springs and adding spacer in the bottom dampener. As for the rear, this is set up a bit differently than a 650. It has a monoshock, but it doesn't have it set between an A and B point. There is actually a pivot with dog bones. So what we did, I took everything out. There's no dog bones, there's no shock, nothing. Everything's gutted in there. I let it sit down as far as I could. I checked the angle on the drive shaft and everything moves clear, and we got no binding going on, and it's actually perched the swing arm right to the bottom of the fender mount bracket that comes off the frame. So what I plan on doing is I want to make a bolt-in kit. So you would remove everything and it just goes literally from the swing arm down to the original mounting point, because it's only got to hold it from having the swing arm come back, because it's going to be secured up here. And then what I'm going to do, because I don't plan on changing this one, is I'm going to throw a bead weld on both sides, and then again another one on the back of the frame where it meets the swing arm meets the frame, because I think it's actually touching right now. I might throw a plate steel in there just to kind of make it look nice and clean. But that's the plan with the frame and hardtailing it. And then we'll just run a simple small tuck and roll pan, probably black, with some clevis springs. All right, if you've watched some of the other videos, the very first bike that I built was a Vstar 650, very similar tank. And what we've done is we've ditched this one just because it wasn't in the best of shape. There are some dents and stuff through it that we're gonna work on. We'll probably end up just throwing a little bit of filler, maybe even be able to pull some of them. But as I was dishing it, I ended up finding a bunch of Bondo in here anyways. So I was able to clean out most of the Bondo with the hammer I was using, and I'll be able to just tap it in and blend it in with that. So we're not out anything on the tank. And trying to answer the last question real quick that I had last time I looked at my Instagram was about the rear fender. This is the stock classic rear fender. It is metal. It's not the plastic ducktail version that you get on the custom. There is a fender mount that comes under here. It's hidden under the stock fender. So the original two mounting points are here, and there was another one out farther. What we did is we cut it. We cut the fender mount back 2 inches from center of the axle, and I wanted the fender cut in line with the rear axle. So fender's cut in line with the axle using one of the original mounting holes per side, and then there is two mounting holes on the top that we're reusing as well, so it'll keep the fender nice and tight. Then from there, we just gave it a nice round edge and followed the contour of the inner fender mount, because with the bike this low, it actually matches the top side of the tire, and then as you cut the fender, it matches the inside lip of the rim. So turned out really clean. The only thing we're gonna add to this is a small patch in the back so we don't get spray back on the bottom of the seat. Well, that's a quick rundown on this bike. like I said, I'll try to get some more videos out this week, more detail of what we're actually doing. I've done a couple other small things, like these were Cobra long shots, cut them down. I might take the bottom one and cut it in a little bit more so it's got that uneven look, but not sold on it yet. I am going to run the stock Speedo because it's electric, so there's no, in my opinion, ugly cable going up to the front tire. And as far as that, we're just gonna block this thing out, and I'm kind of saving the color scheme to the end. I think we're going with Nardo Gray, but I'm not 100% sure yet. We'll see when it comes up. I'm gonna go buy a couple different paint samples and test it out and see what I like. Anyway, stay tuned, guys. We'll get more videos on this thing and more custom work. Thanks a lot.